And now the boys on the hill, Slim Marshall, 5,000 watts, Ralph Jeezy, and of course our boy Thomas Black in his absence. What it do, fellas?
What's up?
How's it going, man?
Chilling.
Chilling.
Another day, God gave us to talk baseball, man. Gotta take advantage of it. Despite missing one member of our crew who is a big-time hot dog dealer.
He in the streets.
Slinging them wieners.
Give me my money, baby. Give me my money.
Yeah, but Thomas Black hopefully will be back with us next week. He's dearly missed. Yeah, so fellas, once again, another very important week off the baseball schedule has gone by. Conference play is starting to wind down. Some positioning and some seedings are starting to be decided or close to being decided right now, particularly in the SWAC, on the SWAC side and the MEAC side. So yeah, we had a couple interesting series over in the SWAC this past weekend. First, starting out west, Prairie View and Gremlins. That was a battle for positioning at the top of the SWAC West standings, and that series had an interesting turn of events. We all follow that series very closely. So gentlemen, what do you make of the outcome of the Gremlins and Prairie View series this weekend?
Well, for the Western division of the SWAC, you had the number 1 and number 2 teams, and the outcome of the series would have a bearing on who would have that number 1 seed. I had 2 gentlemen, one from Gremlins, that told me they were gonna go handle business, and I had another gentleman from Prairie View hit me up and said that, "Nah, we about to go handle this business." So, they had a pitchers duel in the game 1 with Shamal Page and Robert Maldonado. Both guys went deep in the game. Maldonado only gave up 1 earned run on a balk. He gave up the first run in the first inning. It was unearned. And Page had a complete game. Gave up 2 runs, 8 strikeouts, 6 hits. Maldonado also had 9 strikeouts. And between the 2 of them, they only walked 1 batter. And the big break came for Gremlin when Kalen Mack hit the home run. Trey Turner had a big game in game 1 for Prairie View. He was responsible for their 2 RBIs. He was 2 for 3 in the game. So, it was a good situation in game 1. It was a great game. Hate to see those 5 errors have such a bearing on game 1. Because without those 5 errors, that game is a totally different game.
Yeah, Thomas Black always says like errors make the difference in these games, especially in conference time. And that game right there proved to be the deciding factor in the outcome of that one.
Right.
All right.
And in game 2, Jacoby Boudreaux started for Southern. Why did I say Southern? For Gremlin, I'm sorry. And Matthew Crawl got the start for Prairie View. Crawl was out of there in 4 2/3 innings, and Boudreaux pitched 6 innings. But Prairie View jumped out on him early to a 3-0 lead. Well, actually, it was 3-1 in the bottom of the second. 4-2 game for Prairie View going into the second, in the 3rd inning, and boom, John Garcia ties it up 4-4 with a home run. Gremlin jumps out, to a 7-4 lead, and Prairie View just keeps clawing back until Mr. Braden Johnson for Prairie View, he singled the left field that scored some guys, and they gave them that 9-7 lead, and they snuck out of there with that win. With Joshua Larzabal getting the win, he came in relief and had 6 strikeouts in 4 1/3 inning in relief for game 2. So that tied the series up. So, you got to love the resiliency by Prairie View coming back after losing game 1 by I hate to say beating themselves, but a lot of people would say, but put the ball in play, make teams have to get you out. So again, we come back in game 3, and this was a slugfest, fellas. It was 23 runs scored. Hey, we've seen double-digit runs and hits in games with 28 hits in the game. So that's not surprising. It was quite a few home runs hit. And, this game was just who was going to be able to score the most runs. Because, by the end of the day, each team had gone through, they used about 9 pitches, close to 9 pitches combined. So Sunday Blues. Mm-hmm. And Gremlins took the series 2-1.
Yeah, Gremlin is only now 2 games behind Prairie View in the SWAC West standings. Prairie View still with the lead over Grambling State. Texas Southern, the Southern, in the compacted SWAC West. Yeah, but once again, Ralph, those Sunday games, they seem to always be high scoring. Both teams on their 3rd starter. Johnny Ho's staff day, as Thomas Black likes to say. And so having 23 combined runs scored was kind of indicative of that.
Yep.
And the other series was the biggest series, I think, this late in the season for the SWAC, and one that had a surprising result that I didn't see coming. There are probably a lot of people who follow our show didn't see coming. FAMU took down Alabama State convincingly over the weekend. FAMU have been playing some good baseball as of late, and we all know Alabama State had been hanging on the first place for a while in the SWAC East. And FAMU, they took the series against one of the teams that we all think has a really good shot to win the SWAC tournament. So, gentlemen, what did FAMU prove by winning this series this weekend over Alabama State?
I think one thing they prove is the mission is again to the SWAC T. It don't matter who number 1. It really doesn't matter, and it's going to be hard to tease out exactly who will win the SWAC T and win and actually come on top of the hill, as we say in the SWAC, because based off of this weekend, FAMU basically swept Alabama State, riding a 7-game winning streak and putting Alabama State at a 5-game losing streak. And it kind of enlarging the gap between first and second place, even though Alabama State is still sitting in second place. But game 1, they took 7-5. Game 2, they took 12-5, and game 3, which was the closest, they took 7-6. FAMU came with the firepower. I say pitching went real good. Game 1, Hunter Baez, he ended up going 7 innings, got 12 strikeouts, and collected his 8th win. And DJ Watkinson came up behind him, got his 5th win with 7 strikeouts, and was able to give his team 5 innings. And then you had relief come in. Zach Moore, he got his 2nd win. Was able to go at least close to 2 innings in relief, and help solidify that win for them to basically finish off the sweep of the Hornets that have actually been one of the most consistent teams we've been seeing this season. So it boiled down to pitching this series. I really think so. It boiled down to pitching, but FAMU brought those bats. They was able to produce a lot of runs and take advantage of the runners on the base path.
Yeah, I was shocked that it was a sweep, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. I wasn't expecting a sweep. Mm-hmm. Competitive games, yes. Sweep, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida A&M right now is a game and a half ahead of Alabama State in the SWAC East standings. They're now 25-23 overall. Is FAMU. They're on a 7-game winning streak, as Watson mentioned before. And surprisingly, Alabama State's on a 5-game losing streak. Hadn't lost more than 3 games in a row all season long. And now they not only lost 3 over the weekend, but they're on their longest losing streak of the season. So there's this outcome by Florida A&M sweeping Alabama State, make them the favorite now to come out of the SWAC, or you guys think still up for grabs?
I think it's still up for grabs, and it shows that anybody can be beaten any weekend.
Yeah.
You know, I think the 8 teams that get into the tournament, all teams have a legitimate chance of winning.
Yeah. Basically, that's when the real season starts. As I say, you know, because these 4 teams, these 8 teams that come into the SWAT team all got an opportunity to take the crown. It depends on what pitchers show up, what hitters go light up the scoreboard, and you know, and what coaches go outsmart and game plan the other coach. You know, it's
Right.
Them chess pieces go come into play. The SWAT team definitely feel that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, the SWAC baseball tournament's a few weeks away, and we're talking about seeding right now, and what team is going to be in position to try to get an advantage early on. Like you guys said, man, like when it comes down this late in the season and you get in the tournament play, you never know who's going to come out there with the win. I mean, like we've all experienced it as players. We've all observed it as from afar. These last couple of weeks are going to really determine like what teams are made of and kind of decide if all that preparation and the scheduling and everything that went along with it will come to fruition in a few weeks down the road.
Exactly. And as we mentioned, the tournament, we all the SIAC tournament, right, was this past weekend. We were all on the Savannah State hype train. They end up losing in the winners bracket of the first after their first opening day win over Tuskegee, which was a dog fight, 11-10. And Miles beats them. And now Miles plays Spring Hill in the winners bracket game to go to the championship, with Spring Hill eventually winning. But that goes, and the thing is, Spring Hill hadn't lost a conference game in the SIAC since they lost, I want to say it was like March the 19th or something like that, to Albany State. They lost their first 4 conference games. They got swept by Savannah State. Then they lost the opening game in the series to Albany State. Then they went undefeated the rest of the year in the conference, with regular season and tournament to win the tournament. But it was some constants there too. Albany State played in the championship game, but hey, Albany State has been a consistent team all year. They've been one of the top teams.
True. And just to let's put this in perspective, because Albany State went on a run this SWAT team. I'll be honest. They lost the first game to Morehouse 3-5.
Right.
And then after that, they beat Clark Atlanta 17-7. Then they beat Savannah 4-3. That's a tight game. Then they came back and beat Morehouse, got them back, got the lit back 10-6. Beat Miles 14-7, and then that's when they ran to Spring Hill and lost 7-8. But at the same time, they went on those kind of runs that you want to do after you come out a little slow in tournament play. You want to be able to produce some runs and say, "Hey, our pitcher gonna stand up." But that I say the biggest win during the tournament for Albany State was that Savannah State, because that was real shocking to me. Even though there's number 1, number 2, of course, we've always said Savannah State got that pitching, and true enough, they brought their pitcher to the SWAT team. It's just that it shows that SIA tournament. It just shows that tournament plays, it's highly contested by the time you start getting to that bracket play. Congrats to Albany State on the run that they did this season, also, as well as Savannah State. Both of them teams had great seasons this year.
Yeah, guys. So 2 questions for you guys. Like, why didn't we see this run from Spring Hill coming, and why didn't Savannah State do what we thought they were going to do and win this tournament?
Well, I say with Spring Hill, I kind of we said the last episode. We kind of had the feeling, because on top of that, their coach was retiring. So they really, to be honest, they had the most motivation outside of, that's motivating. When your coach is about to retire this year, you don't want to be the team, his last team, to not deliver for him. So of course they was gonna come in ready and focused and saying we go send coach out on his red carpet, give his flowers. So but at the same time, Savannah State was consistently running, basically running through the SIAC. So it was hard not to suspect that they would walk away with this championship. I know they may take it down and say, hey, the season wasn't fulfilled, or their mission wasn't fulfilled because they didn't get the SIC championship. But how I say, regular season, tournament play, they two different seasons, and they still had an awesome season.
Well, with the tournament, Slim, the first part was Spring Hill, like White said. We saw it. We said it. The possibility that we wouldn't be surprised if Spring Hill or Albany won the tournament as well. But it came up to Savannah State when they ran across Albany. They faced one of Albany's better pitchers. And I want to say Jeremy Riddell, that may be how you say his name. He was consistently one of the better pitchers in conference as well. And we talked a lot about Savannah State, but other teams, Albany State's 1-2 punch at the top was just as good. You know what I mean? Those guys were quality starters as well. And then they ran against Cody Long, the conference pitcher of the year, when they played Miles. So they happened to run across two of the better pitchers in conference in the tournament matchup. Now the first game they played, they gave up a few runs, but the game they lost 4-3, that was a tight game. Mm-hmm. But it's the tournament, man. You have to be on your P's and Q's. You got to make sure solid defense, solid pitching, and you have to take advantage when you have runners in scoring position. You can't leave those runs out there in the tournament. Like, you can't leave them out there. You have to get those runs. You can't give them extra outs. The 2-out walks. Can't give up those type of situations because every game in the tournament counts. It matters. And I think the fact of it's the tournament, sometimes guys can have some nerves, that wouldn't normally have nerves because they're trying to make sure that they don't mess up. They don't want that pressure because if I mess up, it affects the whole team.
That's true. And then the thing about tag on to that pressure, I mean, Savannah State had three errors in that game against Albany State. That was the difference makers. In a tight 3-4 game, you have 3 errors. That's going to stand out. But like I said, pressure busts tight sometimes, and
Yeah, I would imagine being a number 1 seed like Savannah State was and kind of cruising through the regular season, you kind of feel like, well, if we fall behind, we'll be able to overcome it. But Savannah State really had to overcome a lot of adversity this season. And a lot of times we get in the tournament, adversity will strike at any time. And the teams that normally win the tournament are able to overcome that. And Savannah State, as good as they were, they just were not able to, despite their great pitching staff and their great lineup. They just didn't rise to the occasion in those opportunities where they needed a big hit. They needed their pitching staff to go out there and put up a 1-2-3 inning. It didn't happen when they needed it most, and they end up unfortunately going home in this tournament very early. So that's just a lesson for tournament baseball, man. You got to bring it for all 9 innings, no matter if you're number 1 seed or not. Because teams out there, like it's 0-0, it's a brand new ball game. The playing field's level. Everybody's playing on the same playing field, literally, the entire time. So there are not a lot of advantages out there when we play tournament baseball, and we saw that this weekend, and we're definitely going to see it as conference tournaments in the Division I level get underway.
Right, but I don't want people to discredit Savannah State season because they didn't win their conference tournament. They had an amazing season.
Yeah,
They swept 7 consecutive conference series. That's hard to do. They won 35 games. That's hard to do. Like, they had a great season. I don't want anybody to think they didn't have a great season. Albany State had a great season. Spring Hill had a great season. Miles was up and down a little bit, but they still had a 13-game win streak in their season. Some good baseball in the SIAC. I appreciate the coaches allowing us to cover you all. I've spoken to several coaches in the league, and just appreciate you all, man, for giving us that opportunity to just expose you all to the masses in HBCU baseball, because you all have some good players, some great coaching, some good programs, and just hope in the next season we'll be a little bit more in depth on our coverage.
Yeah. I mean, like baseball at their level, we talked about it all season long. There's a lot of depth of talent, and that definitely displayed itself in the SIAC tournament this past weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another tournament going on right now down in Montgomery, Alabama. It's the second annual Black College World Series. Games got underway today. It's an 8-team tournament, positioning Division II teams and NAIA schools. The Division II teams are Albany State, Bluefield State, Kentucky State, and Miles. And on the NAIA side, you got Edward Waters, Florida Memorial, Russ College, and Talladega College. And some scores from today, games completed. Albany State beat Kentucky State 12-2 in game 1. Then the second game of the day was a win by Florida Memorial over Talladega 5-4. And a game that just went final a little while ago, we had Miles beating Bluefield State 8-3. And there's one game coming up later on tonight. It'll be Edward Waters against Russ College. So guys, we were able to watch a couple of games of the opening of the Black College World Series. What were the kind of impressions of what you saw?
Well, I got a chance to see some of the Albany State game, and man, it was a competitive game until Albany State bust out 8 runs, man, to the run ruler. So Albany State was Albany State today, man. They gonna bang, man, and they gonna have good pitching. So they gave it was Albany State is what nothing else I can really say about that game. I didn't get a chance to see the other 2 games because I was at spring football practice, but you know, got to see the first one.
Yeah, I agree. I was able to kind of review the first game Albany State as well, and what I see is they just riding that wave that they took out of tournament play. So they still kind of hot, as you can tell, but I mean, to be honest, looking at this board right now, they may be the favorites to come out, just if they can keep that same momentum. With Bluefield State, you know, they defending champions, so they was coming, you know, of course, coming back into the tournament thinking to kind of reclaim that belt, but it's a wide open tournament. It's a wide open World Series. Who would come out? More likely to be a Division II school, but we'll wait and see, because Edward Waters, they done surprised a lot of us in the wins that they've gotten this season. So, you know, them boys in Florida, you know, they know how to play too. So we'll see who come out on this one.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be an interesting outcome. Like Florida Memorial beat Talladega, you know, so they're in the winners bracket waiting on the Edwards Waters Rush winner. Then Albany State, and Miles in the winners bracket on the other side, and that's familiarity right there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like how many times they played each other this year already?
Exactly.
You know, they already had a 3-game series during the season, then faced each other in the tournament. So it's nothing you can possibly hide from either opponent that they don't already know. So it's just gonna come out to who wants that game the most, who's gonna make the less mistakes, and you know who's gonna match the other team's intensity if it's a run made in that game. Can't hear you, Slim.
I know I was on mute. My bad. I don't know how to work a computer. Yeah, but aside from the outcome of today's games, like this is day one, as we mentioned before, of the World Series, and many people might not know this even exists. This is even an event. So can you guys speak to like the importance of like the event itself and kind of like the exposure for some of these like smaller schools?
I think it's major, man. You can actually go on the Black College Sports Network YouTube page and watch all the games for free. So that in itself is major exposure because that's international exposure. Anybody with a cell phone can go on YouTube and watch that game. You know, it's the school gets exposure. You can't beat it.
Yeah, I agree. On top of the exposure, the kids get some extra games. You know, now at this point, school's out. They the last one still on campus. You kind of get some to pride and poke your chest out about because you're in postseason play. So you get the opportunity to represent your school again, your program, play around your brothers. You know, the last couple of games, and take in the awesome season that you've had to have the opportunity to get an invitation to play postseason. And then, hate to say it, man, you in Montgomery, man. You playing at a good facility, one of the best in the South, and at the same time, some scouts go probably gravitate. Somebody go walk across or pop open that YouTube video, and you may get a extra look, get an extra eye. Somebody outside of Major League Baseball, there are other leagues and other opportunities we're seeing that evolve with football, with SFL, and Canadian leagues. So these kids, they get the opportunity to get looked at, some other leagues that may give them opportunities to continue their career in playing baseball. And on top of that, just had the opportunity to play with their brothers one last time.
Right.
So it's real good. It's real good for them.
Like for college baseball, especially black college baseball, historically, it hadn't been a lot of, I would say, tournaments like this after the season's over, especially for like some of the lower levels. This is kind of like like an all-star game in a sense, where you got some of the best players at that level competing for something. So like scouts can see them like in live game actually playing for something under pressure to see how to respond to that. I mean, for the kids, it's got to be like really fun to like play in a pro baseball stadium with the great facilities they have there in Montgomery, and support they get from the community, and also have opportunity to maybe do well in that environment and maybe get a chance to go pro if that comes to fruition. But yeah, like anytime we can have like back college baseball on a stage like that, exposing these kids, exposing these coaches, just exposing the game itself to like people who otherwise would not see it, it's always a win-win.
That's a big fact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're gonna transition now to our players of the week. Every week we seem to uncover some players, either whether they're pitching or whether they're on the mound, who have some outstanding performances. There were no perfect games and no hitters this week from around the country. There seemed to have been a trend in the last couple of weeks of one pitcher from some level going deep in the ball game and throwing a no-hitter. But our pitchers of the week this week, Cameron Bratton, University of Maryland Eastern Shore, a complete game, 2 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts in a win this weekend for him. Josie Torres for Alabama A&M, a complete game, 5-hitter, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts in this series win over the weekend for the Bulldogs. And Nick Gladys, Jackson State, complete game, 1 earned 1, 9 strikeouts and 3 walks. He came up big for the Tigers this weekend as he won his appearance for Jackson State.
Right. And Mr. Bratton and Mr. Torres both had shutouts.
Way to pitch, fellas.
Here you go deep in the ball game, you're most likely going to be one of our players of the week. As far as hitters are concerned, you got Micah Morgan for Spring Hill, 500, 9 hits, 7 RBIs, 5 doubles, 5 runs scored. 1 home run in the tournament last weekend. A big showing for him and for Spring Hill College is they really, played well in the tournament last weekend. Over in the MEAC, you got Alonso for Delaware State. He had 500, 4 hits, 3 RBIs, 5 runs scored, a double, a home run, and a triple this weekend for the Hornets. Funny when we talk about the Hornets and the hitters, we normally talk about Trey Page, but Alonso came up big this weekend for Delaware State on his own right. And Jonathan Thomas of Texas Southern, he hit 500. 3 guys in a row, 500 batting average. 5 RBIs, 5 runs scored, a home run, 3 doubles, and he stole 7 bases. So Thomas was doing it at the plate and on the base path, creating havoc over the weekend. And those are your Boys on the Hills Players of the Week.
Congratulations, fellas.
Yeah, definitely tip your cap to them, Ralph.
Yeah. Late in the season, 500 in the series, that's still good, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there were no 800 batting averages this weekend, but 500 is still pretty darn good, too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And now, did you know?
This is when Ralph Jeezy goes deep into the record books and finds out historical nuggets.
Let me pull out my palm pilot.
All right. So, the first did you know? Oh, come on back to me. All right. Savannah State during their time in the MEAC, Kyle McGowan had the single season strikeout record with 134 in 2013, the same year they won the MEAC championship. And then eventually Savannah State left the conference in 2017 to return to the SIAC.
Hold up, Ralph.
Okay.
You saw on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, he's wearing a different hat than Savannah State's. Yes. That means Cal McGowan, pro baseball player.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you know that?
And this one, I think, is probably the most shocking one. Danny Goodwin of Southern was drafted. He's the only player to be drafted first overall twice in the MLB draft. First out of high school, then from Southern. And he was also named the National Player of the Year by the Sport News in 1975 from Southern. I don't think people understand. The National Player of the Year by a major sporting outlet, a major sporting news outlet in 1975 for HBCU player. Like, why doesn't the SWAC talk about this?
Yeah. I mean, like the sporting news, it's no longer like in production. Its last issue was 2012, but it had been around before then since 1886. And so, yeah, Sporting News had given out major awards for Major League Baseball, the NBA, college basketball, and football players of the year. And so to have Danny Goodwin represent a black college, the National Player of the Year by the Sporting News, that's equivalent of Sports Illustrated or the Associated Press or ESPN the magazine or something like that, acknowledging a college player. We've already had a college player recently, Ricky Weeks, at Southern be named the Golden Spikes Award winner, but to have a guy like Danny Goodwin back there in 1975, when there were not a lot of black baseball players, get that type of recognition, and especially at the HBCU level, getting that recognition, to have Danny Goodwin from a small school be not only drafted number 1 overall in the Major League Baseball draft, but get that national recognition that he got just speaks to how tremendous of accomplishment that really was.
Exactly. That's major, bro. And
slide.
I only did those 2 because I knew I was gonna spend some time talking about this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's it. No more nuggets.
I have more. Trust me, I have.
But people
more.
want their nuggets, Ralph. Come on.
Hey man.
Chicken nuggets, give me.
Hey man, I have more coming next week. I gave y'all one last night that I held on to. Did I not?
True.
I gave you one last night that I held on to.
For those who don't know,
what's up?
What was the one you gave last night?
No, don't get the one I gave last night. I gotta hold on to that one.
Okay.
I gotta hold on to that one because I think you're about to give it up.
Saving it for later. Okay, saving it for later.
Because I'm trying to make sure and see which if someone else is close.
Okay.
But no, don't get that out yet. Because I know what you're about to say.
That's what we call in business a tease.
That's what you talking about right there?
Yep.
No, don't get that up yet. I ain't ready.
Yep.
Nah,
That
hold on to that. All right. So, of course, you know, Slim always talking about he the man, he the boss and all that with the pick'em. So, we got a new sheriff in town, people.
Uh-oh.
We got a new sheriff in town on the pick'em.
Uh-oh. Stand them up. There you go.
We got a new sheriff in town.
Yeah, that FAMU and Alabama State series made a difference maker.
He on your back, Slim.
Yeah.
I see him.
Yeah, don't have to get that off you, Slim.
I see him. I'm still in first place though. By the skin of my teeth, but I'm in first place though.
Yeah, you still in first place. He on your back, Slim.
One slip up.
Creeping up. I see him creeping up there.
One error, something.
He on your back, Slim.
That means I really got to bear down this week on the pick'ems, man.
Yeah.
To keep Watts at bay. That's what I got to do. I mean, I don't got to worry about you, Ralph. I don't got to worry about
I'm
Thomas,
out of it. It's 6 games left in the season.
Yeah.
In conference.
Y'all been eliminated from postseason contention.
Yeah, I'm knocked out of it. This men Black out of it. It's down to you and Watts now.
Yeah, I don't have to make sure I keep my scouting report this week.
Hold on. Let me see something. No, I'm mathematically out of it. Hold up. 6. It's 12 left.
Oh, 12?
6 each week.
Oh, yeah.
I still got a shot.
Yeah, you got a shot like I got a shot with Rihanna.
That's you selling yourself short.
No, I'm selling you short.
No,
not me.
You said you don't have much of a chance with Rihanna. That's what you said. You said you sold yourself short.
Just like you don't got a chance in this pick'em.
Okay. Throw that BP fab ball and hit it back at you.
Talking a big game there, Ralph.
I'm about to say silence.
All right. Man, leave him alone. All right, so now we on. You finna get me riled up, Slim.
Yeah, silly, man.
I've been trying all season, man. It ain't working, so.
Exactly. So now, it's time to pick them, my boys.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna let you see the schedule. I'm gonna let you see the teams, so you can get your mind right before we pick them. Get your mind right before we pick them.
I see a lot of toss-ups in there.
Say what now?
I said I see a lot of games that could be toss-ups in there.
Yeah. Hey man, I'm about to get back in there now with this one. So, yeah, you studied already? You studied?
I'm crammed enough. Let's go.
Study long, study wrong. Let go. First game, we got Alabama versus Florida.
Roll Tide.
Alabama A&M, Bethune-Cookman. Who you got?
Oh, I pick first then Slam. All right, cool.
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead,
gonna go with them Wildcats. I'm gonna go with Bethune on this one.
All right. Yeah. Who you got, Slim?
I hate to do this, man. I hate to do it, but I gotta go with Watts, man. I'm picking Bethune-Cookman. And our boy Coach Hernandez, man, you gotta do it for him this week, Coach.
Yeah.
If you're listening, we know you are.
He got us. He got us.
As much as I know I need to be catching up, I can't go against the grain on this one. So Malik, the brothers Garcia, Mr. Pena, Mr. Fables, Mr. Santos, Mr. Little. I need you guys to come through for me this weekend.
Yeah, sure.
Let's go. BCC. CCCCC. Bethune-Cookman Community College University. My bad. Just a little swag shade. That's all. All right. Next up, the Garden Snakes versus those Tigers.
Ooh.
Will the Rattlers strike again? Or will the Tigers win the season series?
I mean, FAMU beat them up in Tallahassee earlier this year. And FAMU coming this thing hot, man.
You sure about that?
They took 2 or 3 from Tallahassee State in Tallahassee, man.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Let me do some research.
Let the record show. But anyway, like I'm picking FAMU.
Okay. Go with FAMU.
You're gonna strike. And how to do it?
All right.
They might need a new AD, but their baseball team's dope though.
So who you got, what?
Bruh. It's just cause I ain't trying to make no slip up. FAMU is hot. But see, it's just knowing Coach Johnson and the team, they know the importance of this series this weekend. You still trying to fight for SWAC team play. You know. Dang, man. It's a tough pick. But I'm gonna have to go with them. The I love. I'm gonna have to go with the upset. At this point, hey, Coach, I'll come out with this. Whatever we win for these pickers, I'm giving it to you. Y'all done made it. I just know that. This is gonna be a tough series, though. This probably the series of the weekend right here.
So I'm gonna just go here. Let me do this real quick. Because Slim told me that we lost 2 out of 3 to FAMU. What did that say, Slim?
You said they didn't.
What did that say? Right there. Read it. Tell me what it say. Did Jackson State not beat them?
Yeah, they won that series.
Oh, yeah, they won the series.
Yeah, I'm going with Jackson State, baby.
I guess I'm wrong sometimes.
Yeah, you slip, but you finna be in second place.
No, I'm rolling with the team that's hot this week.
Next up,
I got you.
We finish out our West Series with Mississippi Valley State University versus the Hornets of Alabama State. Who you got?
Oh, them honeybees, they pissed. So them.
You call them honeybees?
Yeah, he called them honeybees.
Yeah, they coming out. They ruthless, man. They ain't got swept by FAMU. You don't think they hot? I mean, they on the longest losing streak they had all season. Yeah. Valley Fed to get that work. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm going Alabama State. I think going in conference play, I think they coach already done told them, hey, it's too late in the season to be slipping up like this, so let's get tight. So they go tight up on pitching, hitting, everything. I see they go come out on this one.
So you going with the honeybees, all right?
Honeybees.
Slim?
Yeah. I'm a piggyback on what Watt said about Alabama State having a bounce back series. I mean, Mississippi Valley State has been scrappy all season. They surprised some teams this year, some series. But I think Alabama State gonna break out this funk, man. They're gonna take this series against Valley and the Delta Devils.
Right, and I agree as well. Valley is definitely a very scrappy team. They have won some games in some series. They played Bethune Cookman tough. They played Jackson State tough in their series. The series against Alabama A&M this past weekend was tough, but it seemed like they can't quite get over their hill. And this late in the season, I don't know if it's just the length of the season or whatever it may be, but they just can't seem to quite get over their hill. So I'm going to go with Alabama State as well. So now, the matchup that somebody in the West has to win. I'm not trying to be funny, fellas. Both of these teams have had struggles this year. But the crazy thing is Pine Bluff has had success in spots. They just haven't been consistent for whatever reason. They have been successful in spots. But for some reason they haven't been able to sustain the success. So I don't know what's going on with Pine Bluff. We already know the situation at Alcorn. I'm gonna jump out the plane first on this one, like we on Call of Duty Warzone. I'm gonna jump out the plane to get this thing started. I'm going with UAPB I think in a closer series than we expect.
I agree. I think I'm going with UAPB as well, but I think they lift for schedule has gotten to them now, because they next to Bethune Cookman, they had one of the longest schedules, because not only were they opened up the new ball field, but everybody was coming in. It was fanfare. So I think that this late in the season, you probably got injuries on your plate, players getting tired, but at the same time, school out, so they just chilling on campus. And this is a home game. This is a home series
for Alcorn, yeah.
For Alcorn, okay, yeah, they on the road too. So yeah, they they look at this like vacation. So they finna go down to the reservation and plant their flag and go ahead and walk out with this series. So I got the Lions in two. I get Alcorn 1.
Like, who's vacationing in Lorman, Mississippi though?
I would. Some good hunting down there, boy.
Yeah.
People don't go hunting, vacation to hunt, man. They go to like chill, drink some Mai Tais, some.
Speak on what you know.
Like I said, like, people don't go to Lorman to vacation.
It may not be a vacation, but it's a hunting trip. Let's move on before you make me mad. Pick your team and let's go.
Ralph being bossy tonight, man. I like that.
I'm saying, man, you're talking crazy, man.
I'm talking crazy, man.
Hey,
Why saying people go to vacation in Lorman, Mississippi?
I just said it's good hunting down there. You said people don't go on vacation to hunt. People do
They
go.
don't.
Hey, it's a two and the casino on what? Natchez
and Vicksburg.
Yeah.
Hey, man, let's move on. Come on, pick your team, man.
All right. If this is a series, Alcorn State will win. It's this one, but it's not this one. I'm going with Arkansas Pine Bluff for the clean sweep.
You going with Pine Bluff for the clean sweep. All right. So next up, we got Texas Southern and Gremlins.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. Who we got?
Ooh.
What to do, coach? Who you got? You studied long, you studied wrong. Let's go. Who you got?
It's tough too. This number 2 and number 3 out the West. I'm gonna stand on the G man. I'm gonna go with Gremlin. They offense hasn't let down all season. The pitching, once you get past Page, is just the question. But I think Gremlin, they're tighten up on that pitching staff and everything. I think they're a well-oiled machine at this point. So I think they will run through Texas Southern, to be honest.
All right.
Like, I'm gonna pick up on something White said. Like, after you get past Page, number 2, number 3 guy, they pretty shaky, man. And Texas Southern historically can hit, and they've been hitting this season. And so I'm gonna go with the Tigers of Texas Southern to win this series.
Oh, let's go, baby. Let's go.
Watch all that side. I think you got a chance to win. They gave him a little crack. Yeah. So you can take advantage of it.
Yeah. Got the opportunity.
So both teams are very offensive, extremely offensive teams. Again, like you said, once you get past Page, the other two guys can be a little hit or miss. But something we have not talked about, Gremlins defense. If Gremlin can shore up their defense, I say Gremlin. But if Gremlin can't shore up their defense and Thomas and Cooper can get on and get on the bases and get the moving around, it's gonna cause some problems. Now I will say, Mr. Mustache, Gabe Vasquez has cooled off significantly from what he was doing in the beginning of the season. But hey, familiarity here again. So if I had a coin, I'd be like old Harvey Dent and pick my team, but I don't. So I'm gonna rub my old bald head and I'm gonna go with the G-Man. I'm gonna go with the G-Man.
So I'm the only one on the limb this week.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay. I think my guy behind the plate gonna stop them doing all Texas Southern from doing all that running. So
hey, you got a point there.
Yeah, he'll stop him from doing all that running. So,
and last, and certainly not least, our last series, Prairie View and Southern. Prairie View is number one. Southern is traditionally number one. And my man Benny Ybarra reached out to me and said, "Hey man, who wanted more last week about between them and Gremlin?" That's what he said. Hey, who wanted more? Let's go. Mm-hmm. So again, this week, Benny, how much do you want it, Benny? So Prairie View Southern, I'm jumping out on the limb. Prairie View with Mr. Maldonado has one of the top arms in the league. Mr. Braden Johnson is one of the top hitters in the league. And, Matthew Crawler on game 2, he might sneak you. Southern has been playing some good baseball here of late, but Prairie View has been very consistent. I want to say they're either close to winning 30 games on the season already, or they've already won 30 games on the season.
They got 28 wins so far this season.
Well, they like 28-13, something like that?
28-20. Oh,
my bad. Well, I knew it was something crazy last time I looked at it. But again, they're close to 30 wins on the season. So that means they've been consistent. They've been in first place for some time. They did have a slip with Gremlin last weekend, but I'm going to go with PV. Benny, don't let me down, Benny.
Going in this, Ralph, man, I looked at the matchup. I was like, this is a toss-up. For some reason, I thought it was a toss-up. Despite what you said about Prairie View A&M and how well they've been playing all season long and being one of the few consistent teams in the SWAC, I'm like, man, what Southern they coming on, man? Southern 15-9 in the conference, just 3 games behind Prairie View for first place. They've been playing some good ball lately. Man, I don't know, man. This is a hard one for me. I didn't think Southern was going to bounce back like they have, but they have. So I'm still got faith in Prairie View, but I don't feel confident in Prairie View though, despite my pick.
Do I write it down? I got the pen in hand.
Yeah, man. Write down Prairie View, man.
I got the pen, big man.
I don't know. I think Southern might make it closer than it seems.
Gotcha. Nah, I don't think it's gonna be a blowout series. I think it's gonna be tough games.
Yeah.
See, and that's true because you're right. Some Southern playing pretty nice towards the end part of the season. But mind you, they got swept the last time they played. So
sweep around your own front door.
Yeah. I think they may get one leg back, but I won't go with them Panthers, man. I won't go with APP. Prairie View on this one. I'll have to go Prairie View, man.
All right. So that's it with the pick'ems. Yeah, this has been fun, man. Next year we're gonna expand that with the SIAC and the MEAC too.
Yeah.
So now,
man, hope I stay in first place, man.
A new segment. We know that, hey, yes, the season isn't over, but if we just want to have a little fun with what we call our potential players of the year. So each of us went and we decided and did a little research, and we picked a player of the year, a hitter of the year, a pitcher of the year, a newcomer of the year, something else, and I think a coach for the SWAC, and we also picked 2 awards for the MEAC. So without further ado, we're gonna jump out here. Now, do not get upset with these picks. These are just our personal opinions now. So don't hold us to it. So I'll give mine first. And I told you I was gonna have a shocker with my player of the year.
Let's see.
What? Oh my God.
Okay. I'll explain it. Let me explain it. Can I explain my pick?
Go ahead, Ralph.
Okay. So the reason I picked Mr. Thomas as the SWAC player of the year, Mr. Thomas is leading the league in stolen bases. He's number 2 in runs scored. He is in the top 5 for home runs. He also is in the top 10 for batting average, slugging percentage, and several other statistical categories. To me, he is a Mr. Everything like Ricky Henderson at the top of a lineup. So you got to understand, I'm a little bit older than well, we are the same age, but most of the youngsters who playing now, they don't understand where they get the collar pop. They're from Ricky. So he reminds me of a Ricky Henderson type because he affects the game at the bat, on the bases, all around. So that's just my pick for why I picked him for player of the year. My hitter of the year came down. It was a hard choice, but I gave it to Corey King of Alabama State. My pitcher of the year at the moment, Mr. Page, because he actually has a chance to win the league triple crown with strikeouts, ERA, and wins. He may have a chance to do it. My newcomer of the year is John Garcia. I didn't pick a freshman of the year. And my coach of the year is the coach from Prairie View, Mr. Antoine Riggins. And in the MEAC, my hitter of the year is Trey Page, and my pitcher of the year is Jordan Hamburg.
Nice picks. Nice picks.
Yeah. 5,000 watts.
Yeah. So I mixed mine up a little bit more, but just based off of how much he has been on the stage since the first pitch of the game, game 1, since the MLB Invitational Tournament, the Andrew Dawson Classic. I had to give it out to Shamar Page for Player of the Year, just for his two-way ability. You're getting a 2-for-1 package right here. Hitting wise, I had to give it to the stash. Yeah, even though he's slowing down on his pace, but the things that he's still leading the conference in as far as slugging percentage, on base percentage. Then on top of that, he is coming in a clutch by leading the SWAC in RBIs, along with triples. So it just kind of stood out to me as a hitter wise. Those are what you want to do at the plate with your hitters. You want to be able to produce and get in runs. Pitching wise, got to shoot it down to Alabama State. Peyton Harris, he's on Shamar Page necktie as far as ERA and everything, but he just just because Shamar Page got Player of the Year, I had to double down and give him a Player of the Year to Peyton Harris. As far as newcomer, I had to give it to Narvo Booker from Mississippi Valley State. Got to give a shout out to Redan High School. What y'all doing down in Mississippi Valley, you're doing some good things down there, Coach. So keep bringing in that talent. But this kid right here, he stood out to me. And the reason he stood out to me, Ralph and Slim, is because check this. All right. The kid is hitting Let me find the statistics. All right, yeah. So the kid is hitting 296, but his strikeout, the at bat ratio is he only struck out 21 times out of 108 at bats. He got a home run, a triple, 3 doubles, got 4 RBIs. I'm not sure exactly where he's hitting it in the lineup, but as a freshman, you producing, kid. So and then oh yeah, I had Corey King as a newcomer. Corey King, he's lining up, as far as the batting average and everything statistically wise. So I had to give him a newcomer, and then Prairie View, Coach Riggins, Coach of the Year. And then as far as MEAC, I just gave it a clean sweep to our boy Jordan Hamburg. He's doing everything. And to me, he's been standing out the most in the MEAC. So I had to give it to both to him, even though I know the MEAC not gonna do that.
Got you, watch. And Slim.
Yeah, so this one was pretty straightforward for me. I had in the SWAC Player of the Year, Shamar Page, Hitter of the Year, Braden Johnson, Pitcher of the Year, Samar Page, Newcomer of the Year, Samar Page. I mean, Samar Page doing what he did on the mound, at the plate, just being a catalyst for that ball club in numerous ways, stood out. I don't think there's been a more valuable player in the SWAC across the board than him. Freshman of the Year had Trevor Hatton, despite Corey King getting a lot of praise. I mean, Trevor Hatton, redshirt freshman Gremlin, he's slugging .587, which is 10th in the conference. He's has 50 runs batted in, which is 3rd in the conference. He's 5th in doubles, 3rd in the conference in hits, 4th in the conference in runs scored. He has 8 home runs. He has 4 triples. The kid just has done it all. It was kind of like splitting hairs between him and Corey King. But I felt like overall, he didn't might have as gaudy of stats as Corey King did, but like he contributed in a lot of different categories for Grambling this year. And he probably would have been that best player if not for Shamar Page, if we're being honest with you.
John Garcia, maybe?
Yeah, you can say John Garcia too. Like those 3 guys, like they're really the catalyst for Grambling State all year long. Over in the MEAC, I had Trey Page here of the year. Got hitting .394, 11 home runs, 36 RBIs, slugging percentage off the chart. Pitcher of the Year, Jordan Hamburg. He's going to be a runaway winner for that. He may go on and win also the Player of the Year award too in the MEAC. The guy's been stellar for Common State all year long. So those are my picks for the postseason awards that are coming up after the season. We got a lot of really good players on here. A lot of guys that could have been winners in any category, but the competition was so difficult this year, and a lot of guys really stood out. So again, like this is just our personal predictions. Like nothing's been set in stone yet, so don't
hold us against us now.
Yeah, don't hold us
against us now. We all had a different criteria, so don't go online and bash us like you do Stephen A. Smith now.
Yeah, we don't make that kind of money to be bashed online like that.
Right, we just having a little fun with this. Just a little bit of fun. All right, so fellas, I got a story, man.
You got a story?
Yeah, I got a story, man.
I got a story to tell.
Yeah, I got a story.
Let's go.
So, wolf booties. The wolf booties. And if you played in the SWAC during a certain time when you went to Jackson State, you know the wolf booty sandwiches.
Explain what
you got to define it, man, because they nation gonna be everywhere.
All right, so when you get the wolf booty, that was like the little snack that you get on the bus. Like if we was going somewhere, you get a little snack. Like they be like, hey, get you something to eat before you get on the bus, and then you get a little brown bag. You had some fruit in there, like some cookies or some chips or something. And it was going to be that good old wolf booty cold cut sandwich wrapped in some good old saran wrap, baby.
Some yellow bread.
Boy, you was gonna get that wolf booty, and they was gonna give you mayonnaise and mustard. Sometimes you might have just got mustard
in a little bitty packet.
Oh, and you was gonna get the little juice with the 4 rip top on it.
Yep.
And there was a pregame meal right there.
Yeah. So you would have some dudes that'll be like, "Hey man, I trade you my juice for the chips." Then you trade, you be like, "I got 2 bags of chips. I trade you for the sandwich." So you would be sitting there just negotiating all the way back around. But man, them wolf booty sandwiches.
All right, Ralph. Explain like who came up with the name Wolf Booties.
I have no idea where it came from. When I got to Jackson State, it was like wolf booty. So I guess because it was so dry in your mouth or something. I don't know. That's all I could come up with. That's all I could. I don't know, man. I don't know where they came up with wolf booty from, man. But you get that doggone bag, man. You see some dude be like, "Man, we really got to eat wolf booty before we go over here, man."
Yeah, I'm gonna put them cardiac arrest, man. Trying to eat that stuff, man.
Hey, but I'm like, boy, you be sitting there, and it was going now after the game. Now I was gonna be smart. I was gonna get me something to eat before we got on the bus. Like I was gonna say that wolf boot on the way back in case I wanted to drink the juice or something. But nah, bro, them wolf booty sandwiches on them road trips. Man, I'm talking about when you see that crate out there on the sidewalk by the bus, you like, man, we ain't finna stop. We finna eat them wolf booties.
Man, the thing about it is the sandwiches, like, didn't have any variety on there. The same sandwich the whole time. The same the turkey sandwich on the white bread. Yeah, one piece of cheese on that bad
had
boy.
A piece of cheese that wasn't even melted.
Yeah.
Just straight cold.
Like, think like government cheese.
Is that kind of cheese that won't burn? It turn black. It don't melt.
But I'm telling you, boy, them wolf booties, man, like that juice didn't do nothing. I'm talking about the little juice they give you, man, cafeteria juice at lunch in high school with a little 4 rip top. That was the drink.
Yeah, give you the kids some drink when they running around outside in the summer. Man,
you give a kid a wolf booty now, man, they ain't eating that. Man, they finna go straight on social media and go live. Tell me, look what they feeding up. Look at what they feeding up. We supposed to be in school playing back. Look at how they feeding up.
They can set up a GoFundMe for just to get off of wood booties, man.
Right. Now, Ralph, you coach after your career is over with. When the meal situation got a little bit better, tell the people at home what y'all had to eat when you were on the staff.
We ate good. That's all I gotta say. We ate good.
No more wolf booties, huh?
No more wolf booty, baby. No more wolf booty. Wolf booty gone.
I mean, we could have got a Lunchable or something, man. A tier above wolf booty.
Exactly. I would prefer the Lunchable.
Hey, the Lunchable, at least you got a piece of candy there. You could have got a bite-sized Snicker.
Or Reese's or something like that.
Man, I'm telling you.
Speaking of that, y'all remember that time when Coach Salt, when Coach Wynn got went to the store and got a whole bunch of Snickers. Snickers and orange juice. I remember that, bro. I think we was playing double header or something, man. And he got the king side too, man. I was like, bro, somebody's stomach finna be bubbling. I think it was Johnny Neal or something. Johnny Neal ate like 2 Snicker bars because he knew he wasn't finna play. He was relief pitching. He ate 2 Snicker bars, 3, 4 orange. He was eating up everybody's stuff. I remember that.
Man, that was just bad.
Yeah, subsidized meals at Jackson State, boy. Those some times, bro.
We had fun.
We ain't gonna tell the story. We ain't gonna tell a story about the coach who kind of paid for our post-game meal at McDonald's with like loose change.
Man, go to the next. If you don't have if you ain't got nothing else to say, go to
change. That corn starving shit.
All right, I got one. So back in college, like I was the editor of the newspaper, and so I had the bright idea to write a story about our team for the preview. And so along with that came a photo shoot. So we went to the newspaper office, and so Ralph, Thomas, Will, BJ, Kenji, they all came to the office to take pictures. So we didn't take no like team picture, like like all sophisticated stuff like that. Dudes in suits and all. Guys had uniforms on, earrings in their ear, hat cocked different positions, wearing jewelry. I thought it was a dope picture because like I wanted to have the team in like kind of relaxed, fun atmosphere. And so the story come out in the paper. Actually won an award, by the way. And so like coach sees the picture and the newspaper like, why y'all boys dressed like that? Like just getting on guys like having earrings in their ears and stuff like that, having their hats backwards and posing all funny and stuff. But it was like a really fun look story, a really fun atmosphere.
I still have those photos, by the way.
Yeah.
You want to repub.
So Ralph, tell the people at home what Coach Johnson told you when you saw the pictures.
Well, he was mad we had hair on our face with the uniform on taking the picture because we couldn't wear facial hair during the season. He was also upset that we had our hats backwards with the uniform on taking the picture. And I want to say, well, he didn't really trip about the jewelry. It was more so about the facial hair in our hats backwards. He's like, you don't represent the team like that.
Yeah. The team rule can't have beards, facial hair.
You win 10 games in a row, you get the facial hair.
Yeah.
I don't know, Slim. You were just ahead of your time because that's what's going on now with these kids.
You was ahead of your time.
You was ahead of your time. That photo shoot, that's all. These kids go on visits and do them same photo shoots. So look at it. It's a pitch in the market now. That's kind of what the schools use to lure the kids there to play. It's basically Slim's the originator of the high profile photo shoot.
Yep,
I know, right?
Got us in trouble for that too.
My bad. But like back in the day, like our newspaper didn't have color pictures, so like everything was in black and white, which made it seem like it was from the 70s, but it wasn't. But it was still dope nonetheless, though.
But you made baseball cards out of our pictures too, so that made it dope. Like you had us all on the card. You had our position, our hometown. If we batted right or left-handed, that was dope to me because they had never done anything like that before for baseball. No. While I was there, we just had the inside man, so we got special treatment.
I'll make sure y'all got taken care of on like football team, they got all the perks.
But I'm saying you did a lot of writing in the paper about us too, though. So
yeah. I mean, like I was a part of the team, I thought like y'all need publicity, because football getting a lot of attention, basketball was too. So I'm like, hey man, the baseball team, they're good, they're interesting. People like baseball, so why not write about them? Exactly. I remember one time, like somebody telling me in the barbershop, reading my story, you believe this game that they played against so and so and so and so? I read the story in the newspaper. It was a really good game. I'm like, yeah, we played really good baseball back then. People deserve to know about it.
Mm-hmm. But SWAC baseball is underappreciated even in the SWAC.
Yeah, that's true.
If we being honest right now, most schools, the students ain't even going to the games.
And it's free to go to the games.
It's free to go to the games. And the crazy part is you're going to find probably some of the best athletes on campus at the baseball game. And it's high quality baseball at that. And it's been good baseball in the SWAC. While football had its dip, the baseball talent had picked back up before the football talent. We just keeping it a buck. But because it's not pushed like football is, and most people say baseball boring. Well, you don't understand baseball. So because you don't understand the intricate part of the game, it's boring to you. Well, why the batter got to step out? Well, he trying to throw the pitcher rhythm off. Why the pitcher step off? He trying to throw the batter rhythm off. Baseball is timing. That's all it is. So anything I can do to confuse your timing, that's what is going to be done. So it's the cat and mouse game inside the game. Whether it's a coach doing a mound visit to throw a team momentum off or to give his pitcher time to relax, to get back in his rhythm. All of it is cat and mouse. Baseball is a chess game at all times because you can do something in the first or third inning to try to set something up later, especially pitchers. And batters can also set pitchers up. We could have a whole different show on just that. On the the chess match between pitcher and hitter. You know, hitting a baseball, I played football in high school, I played basketball, and I played baseball. Baseball was the one sport that I had to do work on my fundamentals year round, especially hitting. Like I literally would hit year round because we had a batting cage, had a pitching machine. I would go out there and hit. During basketball season, I'm hitting. November football season winding down, I'm hitting. You know, because I know it's harder for me to go out there and pick up my time and hitting the baseball than it is for me to go play defensive end. And all I got to do is have outside contain on run plays and rush the quarterback on pass situations. That's a lot easier for me to pick up. So football was a lot easier for me to pick up and go play than baseball ever was. So, yeah, baseball is such a high-skill sport. People don't understand how skilled of a sport it is.
Yeah, college baseball definitely not boring. I mean, like we talked all season long about like the high-scoring games. The games go by much more faster than a major league game. The ball's always put in play. It's action all the time. So it's kind of the opposite of like the pro game where it's like kind of slow-paced and civilized and like there's not a lot of energy. Right. Like the players in college baseball, they create the energy with the dugout chants and dugout jockey and all that stuff. Try to get themselves all hyped up and play. Yeah, so like I mean, like college baseball. I mean, like if you want to introduce your young kid to the game, like take them to a college baseball game, they'll enjoy it because there's action going on all 9 innings.
And it's trash talking all the time.
Exactly.
I don't care what nobody say. But college baseball is a lot of trash being talked during the game. A lot of it.
That's true.
It's a
players at players at coaches at other coaches.
Fans.
Now, I don't necessarily like talking to players. Now, if a player doing something stupid, I just be like, "Hey, coach, get your guy, man. Come on now."
Mm-hmm.
But now, I don't say nothing to a player. Now, I say something to a coach in a heartbeat. I don't have no issue with that.
Yeah. But the environment on top of it is just crazy. Just imagine if you able to take your grill, your snacks, everything into Veterans Memorial, into the stadium, just sit right there, watch the game, grill, and all that stuff right in the midst of watching your team compete. You know, that's what baseball and this culture gives you the capabilities. You know, you can tailgate in the outfield in the back in right field. You be messing with the play, and that's like you know he don't miss the power fly because he back there jaw jacking with you. So right. You know it's just some environments, some college baseball environments are a little bit more intense than you can get for football because there's so many people at football games, but baseball is a little bit more intimate. But at the same time, you get the opportunity to have fun. You tailgating right in front of the game. So, you know, it's real engaging, especially HBCU baseball, because, you know, we cranking up the music in between innings. You already know.
Right. Anything else, Slim?
I got no more stories for you, Ralph. Not this week, at least.
Nah, I'm done, man. Anything from you watch?
Nah, I'm good, man.
Man, appreciate everybody that tuned in to the stream. Much success and luck to everybody who playing this weekend. No injuries. Congratulations to all the graduates.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you all. Big ups on that. Congratulations to all graduates. Man, like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see y'all back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, same bat play.